Okay, boys, welcome to the next video in which we're going to be looking at introduction to equations. So we're getting into a bit more algebra that we've already looked at in the previous units. So before we go on, I need to make sure that you are familiar with these three definitions here, as we've looked at them previously, but you may have forgotten what they mean. So well, the three things that you need to make sure you know are equations, the definition of equations, the definition of a pronumeral, and also from the previous video, our LHS and our RHS. So if you're unfamiliar, if you don't know what they are, make sure you pause the video now, look back at those definitions so that we can progress forward. Okay, so what we're going to be doing in this unit is looking at equations. Okay, so remember, equations are something that have an equal sign in them, and we have a left-hand side and a right-hand side of those equations. More so, what we're going to be looking at is how we actually solve these equations using particular strategies. I'm going to focus on two strategies and I'll get you to write these down. So the first strategy that we have is solving by inspection, and the second strategy we have is solving by guess, check, and improve. So we're going to use these two examples here, and I'm going to show you how we implement these strategies. So we're going to focus on this first one here, solving by inspection. Now, when we solve by inspection, we use this one when there is a one-step approach. Okay, it's usually when we have a simple equation that we can just simply try and work out what the pronumeral is here. So we've got k and x. So it's usually just using a one-step approach. If we use these two examples here, we have k minus 4 equals 5. Obviously, the pronumeral that we need to answer is k. And we also have 6x minus 1 divided by 5 equals 7. And we need to find what the pronumeral x is. Knowing that this is a one-step approach, solving by inspection, we're going to be able to use this one here. So this one we'll be using by solving by inspection because it's a one-step approach. It's simply just k minus 4 equals 5. Now, there are two ways that you can do this. You can either just sort of, again, guess the number of the pronumeral and see if it's a true number sentence. So let's just say 10. Maybe let's say if it's k equals 10. 10 minus 4 equals 6, so that's not a true number sentence. You can just keep going like that and guessing. Another handy trick that you can do is that whatever happens on the left-hand side, if you do the opposite to the right-hand side, you usually end up with your correct answer. So here we have k minus 4 equals 5. What if I did k and I move this minus 4 to this side, and what you need to do is the opposite. So instead of minus 4, what if I did 5 plus 4? What that would do would give me 5 plus 4 would equal 9. Then I can go back and check that my answer is true, which 9 minus 4 equals 5. That's a true number sentence. So solving by inspection is just using a one-step approach. You can either do that, just trying to add in a number and try and see if that works, make sure it's a true number sentence, or differently, you can just do whatever opposite on the other side, that would give you your pronumeral. So instead of minus 4, what if I plus 4 to the 5? That would give me 9. Okay, so that's solving by inspection. What we're going to do, and this is where we get a bit more complex, we use solving by guess, check, and improve. This one is a multi-step approach, okay? You can't simply do this with these type of equations because it's a multi-step approach. It's a bit harder. So what that means is that we need to do a number of different steps, and we need to always check that our LHS matches our RHS. So all you've got to do is simply guess at the start. Try and guess what you think the pronumeral here is. Let's just say we'll start off with 6. Okay, I guess that it might be 6. You do the equation, see if it's a true number sentence, and then you try and improve. You check it, then you improve from there. So let's see if we can get this, if it's 6. We do our LHS first, so it's 6 times 6 equals 36, minus 1 would equal 35. Okay. Now 35 divided by 5 equals 7. There's my answer right there. So 35 divided by 5 equals 7. So therefore I know, I've checked, it's 6x equals 6, which makes it a true number sentence. Okay. Now if we didn't guess it straight away, we'd have to keep going back and improving and making sure that our LHS matches our RHS. So that's the two strategies that you can use, solving by inspection and solving by guess, check, and improve. As you go through the unit, we'll be able to make sure that we can try different methods to make sure they work. Thanks, boys.